firstly, I'm going to introduce my group members. So the first is Heng Yijin, the second is Tan Jinshen, third is Jiang Zhenhui, and the last one is Ong Wei Xin. So today we are going to present about our topic that we choose in our assignment. So basically, I'm going to present first because I'm in an introduction part. So in introduction part, I'm going to say about what is a human communication, what is small group communication, and the last one is about the conflict management. So human communication, okay, according to Shukri and Salava, human communication is the process through by the social interaction, and usually human communication use a lot of symbol to share meaning and to share information with the other people. So that is human communication. About the small group communication is usually in a small group, in a small members, about 3 to 12 members in a small group communication. Okay, about example that I can relate with the small group communication is just like we having a budget meeting, a club budget meeting in a school. And then we having discussion with our friends that where we want to eat. So there is an example of small group communication that I can be relate. And the purpose of small group communication is just like to share information, to share idea, to solve the problem, and also the last one is to help each other in our group, in a small group communication. So that is a small group communication. So the last one is about the conflict management. So here 5 stars of managing conflict in a small group communication. So the first is competing, the second is avoiding, the third is accommodating, the fourth is collaborating, and the last one is compromising. So every style have their own outcomes and have their own win-win situation and also the loss-loss situation. So in this part, the presenter will explain more about 5 stars in a school, in a family, and also the workplace. So that's all from me. The next presenter will explain to you about more about the 5 stars. So thank you.
My name is Heng Yishen and my master number is 261575. Today I'm going to present the conflict management styles and outcome. The first is collaborating, and also known as one of the best conflict management styles because it ended up with win-win situation for both parties. In collaborating, both parties will generate multiple ways or methods just to try to find that one single solution that can satisfy the needs of all parties, which will end up with the win-win situations, hence collaborating. The second is accommodating. Accommodating is a yielding type of win-lose where one party simply yield to the decisions of another parties, and hence the yielding type of win-lose. In accommodating, it just simply wish to create a harmony and peaceful environment, which means they just want a peaceful environment and we don't want to anger or displease others so that the environment can stay peacefully. And the third is the competing style. Competing style is where it, unlike the accommodating, is a completely win-lose situations where one side will definitely win and one side will definitely lose. Competing is used to voice your rights or making quick decisions disregard of others people's opinions. Of course, competing might affect your relationship because you are competing with others. The next is compromising style. Compromising style is the opposite of the collaborating styles because it ended up with lose-lose situations. In compromising, instead of trying to find one solution that satisfies the needs of all parties, compromising simply just try to find a middle ground and used to create a solution even if it's not the best. Hence, compromising can be seen as trying to make a temporary solution even if it's not the best. And the last style is avoiding. Avoiding is just simply avoid the conflict. Because you are facing a conflict that where you end up have no chances of winning at all, so you simply just run away or avoid the conflict at all. Or avoiding can also be used in dealing trivial matters or trivial conflicts, because maybe simply you don't have time to deal with that conflict since it's just a small matters, and hence simply avoiding is also appropriate styles to handle those trivial conflict. And that will be all from me. Thank you.
presenting about the conflicts happening in school. So the first scenario would be students and student, where students often are involved in a heated argument among each other when it comes to group assignment, which actually brings up a different perspective of point of view on achieving a certain objective itself. And conflict always happens because students, they themselves, they do not have a very rational communication style to actually understand each other. So this kind of conflict is actually known as substantive conflict, where it actually refers as a disagreement among group members' thoughts and opinion towards a task being executed itself. So the best conflict management style to actually tackle this kind of conflict situation would be compromising style, where it assumes effective mutual alignment, where it's because of both dominance and collaborative behavior when both parties reach an agreement on taking a step back to actually respectively achieve a common goal together. And it's believed that this kind of outcome, it will have a win-win situation for both parties, where they are both able to sacrifice part of their desire to actually achieve a mutual goal together. Looking into the second conflict happening in school, it will be between students and teacher, where these kind of conflicts actually do happen. It's because students, they are sometimes not being cooperative or even empathy towards teachers who are dealing enough of responsibility in their daily life itself. And therefore it is sometimes noticeable that teachers, they are not able to contain their emotion, and sometimes they lash it out towards the student once they reach a certain boundary of stress. And this kind of conflict is actually known as displaced conflict, where the conflicting parties, which in this case will be the teachers, will direct their frustration to a third party who are not involved in the conflict over any issues at all. And this kind of conflicting management style, which is the best suitable to tackle this kind of conflict, would be the accommodating style, where it's assumed by both passive and collaborative behavior from the student, where this party actually sacrifices their opinions so that they are able to accommodate the desire of the other party. And in this kind of outcome, it will say that it's a win-lose situation for the school authority, which is the teachers, and the students respectively, as students will be directly or indirectly have to accommodate in conflicts with this authority. Lastly, the last conflicts happening in school is between teachers and the management, which is basically the school authorities, where sometimes there will be a heated argument towards an incompatible solution proposed by both parties, where it's normally seen that teachers often wrongly blame on management decision, whereby the decision itself was actually made by the higher ups. And it's because through research that we understand that the board of management always have a lack of transparent communication with an unclear authority structure to actually align and communicate with teachers' perspective. And this kind of conflict is actually known as misattributed conflict, where it relates towards a wrong application of factors on the behavior and perspective of another party for a conflict to occur. And this kind of conflict management style, I would say that collaborative style assumes on satisfying the desire of both parties involved in a common agreement on collaborating together. And this kind of collaborative style, it might increase the percentage of probability on improving vulnerability and even trust between both parties to actually work out together, as both of them actually voice out their own perspective. And it is believed that this kind of outcome itself, it will be a win-win situation for both teachers as well as the board of management to collaborate on their resources to achieve a common goal together. And that's all for my part, and thank you for listening.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Tan Kishan, reference number 261602. I would like to talk about conflict management in family, as every family member has a different perspective based on their self-concept and perception. So, there are several types of conflict in family and each way to resolve the conflict. The first type of conflict is inevitable conflict. This conflict could happen as the people could not be always keep sensitive, concentrating and mindful for others' family members. For instance, when the parents are too focused on their jobs or household duty, unintentionally, this causes the children feel disconnect to their parents. After all, the relationship between family members had been strained due to lack of understanding and concern from each other. While the conflict management style which is suitable to resolve this conflict is accommodating. This conflict management style contains the component of self-sacrifice within an individual who do not care a lot about the outcome as long as they could achieve the purpose of maintaining the relationship of family. For instance, this might happen when a certain family member who are willing to cooperate to a high degree in order to repair the broken relationship, even though it may cause them to act against their desired outcome. Moreover, the next conflict that could happen in family is boundary conflict. This conflict happens when the parents try to set restrictions on their children in order to protect their children and defend children's safety and so on. But such limitations create conflict and pressure between parents and children, which lead to misunderstanding in the relationship, due to the children usually do not understand their parents' intention for doing such action. Where the conflict management style which is suitable to resolve this boundary conflict is compromising, as its goal is to find a convenient and commonly acceptable solution that can partially meet the requirements of both family members toward the conflict, as well as maintaining a certain degree of cooperation and distinctness. However, this compromise style could lead a loss-loss situation, whether neither parties will achieve their expectation, but still the relationship between family members could be maintained. Last but not least, the third part of conflict that could happen in family is intense conflict. It occurs when the parents losing their patience and unable to control their emotion, which result in intense emotional distress and disconnection of relationship between family members. For instance, when those parents are too exhausted until losing their emotional control, which cause them to be forced to shout at their children or by threatening action in order to make the children listen to the given instruction. However, this kind of action might cause the children feel in a sense of upset, shame and unconfident, as has been criticized by their parents. So, the conflict management style that's suitable to resolve in it conflict is competing. In this type, parents will act in assertive way and do not have any intention to collaborate with other family members to achieve their objective. For instance, when a certain family member did in the emergency situation, they will not ask for others' opinion, but only make their own decision, no matter it is right or wrong. After all, this conflict management style will lead to a win-loss situation, which means that the other part benefit, such as emotions and feelings, could be nailed. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Omri Singh, matric number 262726. Now I'm going to present my part on conflict management in workplace. The first is about type of conflict. Here there are three types of conflict, which the first is discrimination and harassment. Discrimination, being treated unfairly based on personal characteristics such as the races and ethnic, gender, and so on. While sexual harassment is an illegal behavior treating others unkindly that should not be tolerated. Second is about the contract of employment. The contract of employment is about the salary and wages, working hours, and benefit of the employee, and the pay must accurate based on their job responsibility to avoid conflict in the workplace. The third is about the miscommunication. The miscommunication occurs in the workplace because the workers come from different backgrounds, and the words also bring different meaning, which may cause the worker misinterpretation. When a person is misinterpretation, it will cause some misunderstanding between the workers to the content of the message. Okay, now how we are going to solve the conflict in the workplace. Here there are two types of management style. The first one is collaborating. Collaborating, it can be defined as working towards same goal. Before come to an agreement, listen, understand, and accept other people's ideas, summarize, and come up with a solution to the problem. The second type of the management style is accommodating. Accommodating can be defined as work against your goal. One party accommodate to others to preserve relation and avoid disruption. It also occurs when someone expert than you and you may follow the expert opinions. Thank you.